안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 오늘도 어제에 이어서 탱글타워 해보도록 하겠습니다. 어제까지 모든 사람들과 모든 장소들을 확인을 했고요. 대화도 나눴고 이제 교차 증언이 필요할 때입니다. 그래서 각 사람들에게 이 사람은 어떤지를 물어보는 걸 하면 되는 것 같아요. 시작해 볼게요. 왜 안 뜨지? 저기요? 왜 이래? 됐다. 사람들에 대해서 단서들도 물어볼 수 있나 보네. 어저께 물어보지 않았나? 아, 체크돼 있죠? 펠릭스는 어제 물어봐서.
Name, Flora Fellow. Age, 44. Profession, likes, unknown. Dislikes, unknown.
Isn't
네
she
엄마
your
아니냐,
mother?
진짜?
How do you not know anything?
I believe other people may have discovered methods of reaching her, but I have little capacity for interpreting non-verbal
말을 안
communication.
하니까.
And how long has Flora been non-verbal?
She has always been quiet, willing to speak when necessary, but not more.
So what happened to make her stop talking entirely?
얘기를 하기도 했나 봐.
She suffered a great loss, something she has been unable to move beyond.
뭘 잃은 거지?
Name, Fiona Fellow. Age, 19.
근데 왜 삐삐인 거야?
Amateur microbiologist. Likes the meaningful
이게
archiving of
애칭이네.
information. Dislikes the superfluous window dressing accompanying the majority of human contact. Notes: kindly disregard the polysyllabic form of my given forename and refer to me instead as Fifi.
How
왜?
come you prefer Fifi?
How come you prefer Grimoire?
How are you related to the other fellows?
Fitz is my cousin. His father, a man named Flint, was my uncle.
Was?
I do not know if Flint is alive or not.
탱글타워를 떠나는 사람이 있나 봐.
And what about Freya? How are you related to her?
We share exactly one grandparent.
그죠? 조부가 바람 피어난 딸 같던데? 프레야 엄마가?
Name, Haksha. Age, unknown. Profession, private detective. Likes, quote, being left alone. Dislikes, quote, being constantly badgered by a weirdo nerd with a...
왜 넌 그걸 어떻게 다 알고 있니?
Name, Freya Fellow. Age, 19. Profession, artist.
근데 19살이면 보통 고등학생 아닌가?
Understand this. Most people find me difficult. They exhibit a noticeable degree of discomfort when talking to me. There it is. Freya, who had a way of being an exception to any given rule, was not at all like this. She is very important, and I will not rest until I understand what has happened to her.
Did you
본인도
spend
추리를
a lot of
하겠다는
time with
거네?
Freya recently?
I will say this. In the past year, Freya became, 1, increasingly independent,
이거 게임이
and 2,
약간 자유도가 없다.
increasingly isolated.
Do you know why?
I do not. If you are looking for a speculative, empathetic opinion, try asking Poppy instead.
The three of you are friends.
We are of a similar age and all highly gifted. One
그렇구나.
scientist, one artist, and one musician.
Sounds like quite a team.
약간 소설 보는 것 같아.
Name,
클릭만
Fellow.
하고 내가.
Age, 24. Profession, cryptobotanist. Likes soil, dislikes electric lights.
Hang on.
어?
Cryptobotanist?
식물학자예요?
Just a guy.
That may well be his preferred label. Mine, however, is more accurate.
Do you and Fitz not see eye to eye, Fifi?
We do not.
Well, I would have thought so. He's well over 6.
아니 그거랑 뭐
Just
얘
barely.
So
좀
what's your problem?
눈새야.
Exactly 1 week ago, I witnessed him sneaking up
수모
from the tower.
올랐다고?
He was making every effort to avoid detection.
So?
He was also carrying
칼?
a knife.
용의자일 수도 있겠네. 아니 근데 아니지 용의자일 수가 없지. 얘는 펠로우 탑이고 얘는 하여튼 거기 포인터 아니 포인터가 아니고 하여튼 거기 올라갔다는 거잖아요. 피 감은.
Name, Percival Pointer. Age, 57. Profession? None.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh, yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
일부러 얘기 안 한 것 같은데? 직업 없다고 한 것 같은데?
Name: Penelope Pointer.
얘는 학자가 많네요. 머리가 똑똑한가 봐.
Ornithologist. Likes birds. Dislikes insects. Notes: Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very
제일
much in
이쁘긴 한
common.
것 같아. 파피.
Poppy Pointer. Age:
근데 이름을 파피로 짓냐? 강아지 아니야?
Oh. Apparently, Poppy has defaced my notes.
아,
Under profession, I had of course originally written
피아니스트.
but she has crossed that out and written
오지 않은 크리스마스 유령. 뭐야? 유령이 되고 싶은 건가? 이것도 다 물어봐야 되나요?
What is your opinion of 탱글타워?
Oh, it's impressive. Elaborate
신기해요.
gardens, unique architecture.
Must be worth a fortune.
Why do you ask, Fifi?
그러게
I
왜
am the heir
물어봤냐?
of the Fellow family and the Remington family. This makes me the sole beneficiary of
아,
탱글타워.
그래?
That's quite an inheritance.
They can't make
아,
you anything, Fifi.
여자가 그러면
If you don't want the house, just tell
레밍턴
them.
가문인가
Or just sell
보다.
it. Who cares?
You sound like her. I require facts. What do you know?
Well, we know Freya was stabbed with a knife, and then she fell.
Correction. She was stabbed with something.
그치,
There was no
칼인지를
knife
모르지.
found at the crime scene,
Apart
오,
from the one in the painting.
which as a mere abstract representation does not count. Nobody has ever been stabbed by the concept. of a
칼이라는
knife.
개념에 아, 확인되지 않았다 이 말이겠죠?
The statue itself does not interest me, but I do wish to know about those.
그러니까 저
symbols
기호
on the
뭐냐고.
heart.
저거 풀면 뭔가
Have you
나올 것
deciphered
같은데.
their meaning yet?
We're working on it.
We are.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she
Oh.
owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater
아,
for an
물
extended
속에
period of
던져졌나
time.
보다.
Right, but
아, 맞아.
why?
물 속에서
I do
발견했죠?
not know why. Curious. Freya is normally highly skilled at capturing someone's likeness.
보통은
But in this painting, she is accidentally made
어리게
Flora look
그렸다고?
quite young.
똑같은데?
I think she was just being kind.
Why is that kind? Anyway, I'm far more interested in what Flora is
들고 있는 거? 저 칼?
I test on the red paint myself. I discovered that it was in fact not paint, but blood.
What made you want to test it in the first place?
It was Poppy. She told me she thought the painting looked like a
음,
bloody knife. I told her not to be ridiculous. My mother owns no such knife. But then I noticed that the color was slightly too dark.
와,
and the
저런 걸
substance
어떻게
itself was
알아차리지?
overly viscous.
나 같으면 그냥
You
지나갈
noticed that
듯?
just from looking at it once?
Of course,
탐정은 제가 해야 되지 않나.
the red paint on the brush is not paint.
어, 진짜? 이건 피야?
Same for the palette.
아, 이것도 피라고?
So Freya added the blood to the painting herself?
Or blood got on the brush and palettes?
섞인 거 아니야? 그 정도면? 아닌가?
Do not know the answer.
근데 피면 굳을 텐데.
Fifi, did you test the red paint in this pot?
Yes, I did. I discovered it too.
요것도
Blood,
피라고?
not paint.
A whole pot full of blood?
누구 피야, 저건?
Not a whole pot. It is only partially full.
Yeah, but still.
아니,
Doesn't
피가 왜
it
있어?
out?
No. In fact, it may be
왜
considered
안심이
rather
돼?
reassuring. The gramophone belongs to Poppy, but I believe she gave it to my mother, and my mother often loaned it to Freya. Or maybe it is the other way around.
When did it get cracked?
I cannot pinpoint it
모른다고?
exactly. All I know is that it must have happened
아,
sometime in the
최근에
last
부서진
2
거네요?
days.
이것도 금이 갔어. 뭐야, 왜 고장났어?
Laughing?
That belongs to my mother. I think she must be fond of eggs.
알을
There are a
좋아하신다고?
number of egg-shaped carvings to be found in the garden and in the grand hall.
어,
Yeah, what's the
맞아,
difference with
있었어.
the eggs?
Some people just like eggs.
알을 그냥 좋아하기 쉽지
A
않을
wooden
텐데.
carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red
어?
parts without any red paint.
발견 있지 않았나? 빨간. 그러게. 빨간
It is a
물감이
model
없다.
of Freya.
아, 여기 있네. 빨간 물감.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
프레야구나. 이 앞에 있는 게.
I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
소통하고 싶었다고?
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing
태풍
above
바람?
it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever.
확실하네.
There is a
확실해.
drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and
아,
a
이게
drawing
헉쇼야?
a drawing of Poppy and Fitz.
근데 퍼피랑 피치인데 얘네 왜 서로
There
장미
is a
들고
drawing
있어?
of me,
둘이
a
사귀나?
drawing of Detective
얘
Hawkshaw,
바람
and a
펴요?
drawing of
약혼자 있잖아.
Poppy and Fitz.
페넬로페.
This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped
그래,
off.
3분의
It
1만
was only a
찢었지.
third.
Do you know who was reading this book?
이거 약간 비슷하게 생기지
And
않았나?
she left it in the library?
색깔이 뭔지
My
모르겠다는데.
mother's not been in the library for some time.
비밀 일기장.
My book.
네 거야?
What's in it?
Pages.
그건 알아. 아니,
Why did Poppy leave shards of glass all over this statue?
What makes you think it was Poppy?
The
어?
statue lives in the music room. Who else would it be?
하긴 음악실에 퍼피 말고 안 가겠죠?
I am scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
새 공포증이 있나 봐.
It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what.
기억해주면 안 되냐?
Who is this her to whom the message refers?
Well, I don't know.
그치, 모르지. 안 적혀
Then
있으니까.
how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next.
걔가 나보다 똑똑한 탐정 같은데?
Who is that?
웃는 거 진짜 어색하다.
I'm quite sure that I have no idea.
아니, 약간 거짓으로 웃는 건가?
An item from Poppy's childhood. Her earliest piano lessons hold some special significance for her.
Why's that?
No idea. She has never graced me with the details, and I am not forthcoming enough to ask.
너 말고 다른 사람한테는 얘기하냐?
We are, yes.
But
It is clear to me now that Poppy has become
실증이
tired of my
났다고?
company.
is it anything to do with Freya?
Oh, no. The changes in Poppy's mood have nothing to do with Freya. Her
뭔데?
concerns simply lie elsewhere.
점점 알 수 없는데?
This is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
맞아.
Yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
황금 딱정벌레.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is
얘네
the
엄청
exact
부잣집인가
opposite of
보다.
astronomy.
Yeah. You could.
말만 학자지 다
I'd not
노는 거
say that,
같은데.
however.
어?
You wouldn't?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living
그래.
or inanimate.
너 마음대로 해라.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Is
Oh?
that a joke?
Yes.
농담이었어? 세상.
This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
포인터 거예요?
I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless
그
little telescope?
헉슈?
It's a telescope.
Oh yes, it has a
만원경
telescopic lens.
맞았네.
It can only be used for looking at things that are far away.
어.
The fruit here has a unique chemical makeup. It makes them completely pointless. Unless you wish to cut it down and sell it as a precious
저거
stone.
팔면 잘 팔릴
It's
것
not
같은데?
edible.
Depends
On what?
on the structural integrity.
이
of your teeth.
뽀라질 거라고 얘기하는 거네요? 이가 뽀사질 것이다.
That blade.
It's a troll for gardening.
It is.
그날 들고 갔다는 게 이건가? 그러면 칼이 아니잖아.
What a mess. Penelope should tidy up after herself.
These weren't dropped by Penny. They were dropped by birds. I think.
My argument stands.
아하.
What's
왜?
wrong?
Earmuffs do not go on statues.
누군가 씌워놓은 거겠지. 더 물어볼 게 없는 것 같은데? 네, 다 물어봤어요, 이 친구한테. 그리고 이제 어디로
It's
가야 되나?
musty in
What
here.
exactly does that mean?
Must. You ask such stupid questions.
Nice.
어떻게 탐정이 된 거지, 쟨? 이제 어디로 가요? 피츠. 피츠면 얘죠? 이상한데 자유도가 있어. 아, 이거 다 물어봐야 돼?
I like Flora. I hope she's all right.
Do you think she had anything to do with the murder?
There's no way. She wouldn't willingly cause any additional suffering for anyone. Felix is a contradiction.
모순
His
덩어리라고?
loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of
아,
materialism, money, property.
돈을
His ego
사랑하는구나.
relies on an entirely fraudulent
모험가가 되고
self-image,
싶다고
don't you
했는데.
think?
I was just about to say the same.
얘 진짜 멍청해 보여.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
왜 싫어해?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
아까 얘에 대해 뭐라고 평가했지?
She questioned me.
About what?
My work, the plants, bit of everything.
Did she search the greenhouse?
No, she didn't.
You sure? Maybe she did it when you weren't in there.
No, she
어?
hasn't
어떻게
touched it.
알아요?
How can you tell?
Trust me, I can tell.
머리가 겁나 똑똑한가 봐. 자리를 다 외운 거지.
She was always kind to me. She'd come into the greenhouse when I was working, sometimes by herself, sometimes with Poppy. I think they were just bored at first. Eventually, they started asking questions.
About what?
Poppy wanted to learn about flowers. Freya, she used to ask me about the insects.
곤충.
Insects.
One of my jobs is to protect plants from things that might eat them.
그게
Freya
곤충이니까
brought me this
그걸
little
잘
glass
아나 보네.
box, leaves and twigs inside. She'd say, put all the troublemakers in there. Every day I'd put a handful of beetles and other things in the box. Then she'd come along and take it away.
어?
I didn't really understand
그
her,
방에 있던
but she was
그거
always kind.
그 곤충 채집통 같은 게 하나 있었잖아요. 그거
Ever
말하는
with
것
this guy,
같은데?
Fitz? Shifty eyes. Doesn't say a lot. Totally suspicious, if you ask me.
That's me.
어,
Yeah,
잘 알고 있네.
it was a joke.
아주
I was
자기
joking.
객관화가
Oh,
굉장한
I
친구야.
see.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower.
그러니까 서로 안 친할 것 같은데?
No, but I still see
어?
Pointer sometimes.
왜?
He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse.
어,
Asks me about the birds too. And insects.
천문학자인데
He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary
곤충이랑
biology.
새도
I
아니,
didn't think there was much overlap
그러니까.
between astronomy and biology.
너무 괴리감 있는데?
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
맞아.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's, well, they make assumptions.
And
그
how's
말하다가
the
마냐 왜?
recently?
Good. It's good.
좋은 거 맞아?
Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes.
어, 그러게.
hair,
닮았다.
3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching
방에
her.
있는 꽃 그런 건가 보네.
Right.
Is something wrong?
뭐 잘못되진 않았어요.
Nice painting. Gives you a pretty good idea of the layout.
The lake looks like it forms a perfect circle around the island.
저런
That
섬이
seems strange to
진짜
you,
있을까?
But nature is quite
있을 수
capable of
있을까?
producing perfectly geometric forms.
And those
아직 알려지지 않은 곳이 많겠지?
things around the outside?
We don't know much about them. They're unscalable. Not even Freya could have gone up there.
What's that?
This painting, it's
어? 추측이에요?
there are no
실물을
photographs
그린 게
from this
아니고?
angle as far as I know.
So Freya just made it up.
Let's call it an informed
하긴
estimation.
완벽하게 외관이 똑같진 않은 것 같기도 하고.
Who gave you that information?
Well,
We don't actually know who it was.
누군가가
Contacted
보냈어요.
anonymously.
I see. And what happens if the person who contacted you turns out to be the murderer?
왜 그런 짓을 해?
never thought about that.
Honestly, that would be kind of fun. Like a twist, you know?
재밌을 것 같다고? 쟤도 좀 이상해.
It's of no interest to me, but I overheard Poppy and Freya talking
어?
about it.
퍼피랑 프레야가 이걸
What did I
알아요?
say?
They were arguing about something, but I can't remember the details.
그 다음 퍼피한테 가야겠네.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy. How odd.
뭐가 이상한지 얘기해주지.
What do you think that is in Flora's hand?
I don't know. It does look like a knife, but Flora wasn't holding anything at all.
어
when I
그래?
saw her
손에 아무것도
after the
없었어?
murder. But there's something bothering me. Something else.
뭐?
What?
When we went into Flora's room, she wasn't standing in this position.
Well, she probably would have moved around a little bit by then.
She wasn't standing at all.
어?
She was kneeling on the floor.
무릎을 꿇고 있었다고? 왜?
There's something off about this.
What is it?
Why don't you take another look at Flora's room?
플로라 봐?
You think we missed a clue up there?
Not exactly.
어? 뭐가
Plants
빠졌다는데?
are different to flowers.
I'd say so, yeah.
At any time, flowers can bloom with
뭘까?
perfect, faultless colors. Red, blue, white. With paint, once you've tainted a color by
까만색이
mixing it
되죠?
with others, not even the most skilled painter can return it to
아
its pure
맞지 맞지 맞지. 그렇긴 해.
form. That belongs to Poppy.
So why is it up in Flora's tower?
그니까.
Not sure.
너?
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
저거 다 아네 퍼피 건 줄.
It's an egg with feet.
It was locked, but we opened it. But it was empty.
맞아 아무것도 없었어.
Fun story.
전혀 재미없어 보이는데요.
Felix made that? Huh. That's quite sweet, really.
엄청 짧아. 관심이
Freya's
없구나.
best work, in my opinion.
이게 뭘
Although
뜻하는데?
the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
맞아.
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of
그럼
painting.
뭐야?
Fitz, one of these
맞아
drawings is
이거
of you
너네 바람
in the
피는 거 아니?
rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done?
어?
It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
Two people isn't a crowd.
Right.
뭐
but
그렇다고
if she
생각할
was
수
in the
있지.
photo, then it'd be
아니
Freya.
잠시만.
Checkmate.
공감 능력이 뛰어나시네요.
Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see?
한 식물? 요거 말하는 건가?
In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow
왜?
that anymore. I've tried.
어
in the
원래
past.
키웠어?
It's incredibly
오.
difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live
아
more than a couple
그래요?
of weeks. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
응
That's
맞아.
the main thing making me want to read it.
부시면 되지 않을까? 자물쇠? 저거 부시면 열릴 것 같은데.
What's with the broken glass? Penelope's three favorite birds. She's
아
very
세
protective
마리,
of them.
네 마리라 그랬는데
They
한 마리 어디
like
있는
her
거야?
pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names.
오 이름도 있어요?
Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not.
어? 모를 수 있죠.
A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
베니가
Mean
누구야?
anything to you?
Why would it?
베넬로페인가?
Fun.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer
베니가
Tower.
누군데?
I just don't have a reason to. Those
어?
petals.
베니 누구더라?
They
What?
they're
Oh?
red.
뭔 소리야?
Any idea who this is?
No idea.
아 다 모른다고 해. 왜?
Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning.
왜 그러는
She's
거지?
improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course.
얘 말 진짜 짧다.
I've seen beetles with
그래서
brightly
나쁜
colored
거가-
shells, metallic shells
이거
even.
괜찮은 것
They're
같아.
relatively common.
아,
especially
흔해요,
around
저게?
here. There's a difference between
오.
that and actual gold.
It
아,
can't
금은
be
아니야?
actual gold.
그럼
It's
실제로
just
있는
inside the
그건데.
earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
실제로 있다고 들었던 것 같아. 황금
I
딱정벌레.
don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me three.
어? 자랑이다.
Sorry.
탐정이란 사람이.
Thought you said me too.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's
어?
room.
That's not where we
왜
found it.
피피 거라고
Oh,
생각해?
I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
어.
This is a good example of how things work. I mix that soil here in the greenhouse.
아,
It's made
혼합해서
with water
만드는
from the
거야?
lake.
And it makes the fruit grow all shiny and gem.
장식으로 만들면 이쁘겠는데?
Sometimes you never really know what's going to happen.
And what do you do with this shiny and edible fruit?
You look at it.
어? 들여다본다고요?
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
근데 이건 왜 내 말이야?
Could have been a long time.
아니, 새 그게.
Never really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why
아,
not?
청소를 안 해서
Nature is
쌓여있던 건가?
unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone.
옥상 정원은 자연이라고 하기에
This is
좀
yours, Fitz?
Yeah,
Do you use it?
I keep all my tools in the greenhouse.
That wasn't what she
Hmm?
asked.
Wait, those are mine.
Oh!
Earmuffs.
그걸 왜 저기다 씌워놨어?
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why?
왜?
You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
시끄러울 일이 있나?
No, I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops
아, 안
people from
들리는
trying
줄
to talk to
알고.
me.
That's genius.
진짜 지니어스네. 다 물어본 것 같은데요? 이제 내가 발견 못한 무언가가 있는지 확인하러 가봅시다. 그러고 퍼피한테 가면 될 듯? 여기서 내가 발견 못한 게 뭐 있어?
Supposedly, Freya was working on. Looks like she was
Didn't
still.
even get a chance to clean her brush.
아, 뭐야. 똑같네. 그럼 이게 아닌가 본데? 퍼피한테 가는 게 퍽쇼랑 얘기해야 된다고? 왜? 퍽쇼? 퍼피랑 먼저 얘기해도 될 것 같은데. 퍼피 게 너무 많아, 물건이. 내 맘대로 하겠어. 퍼피 나랑 얘기하자.
Needless noise from tongues expel, unless within the mouth they dwell.
뭐야 이게.
Spoken word, unfit for
시를
dealing
얘기하는데요?
with the shifting form of feeling. Stand unblinking in the face of taciturn and
랩하는
soundless
건가?
space. Forgone
어?
drifter, holding fast.
얘
Days
왜
of
이러는지
shadow
아시는 분?
seek past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that
누가
no
증언을 이렇게 해요.
nothing darker than the gloom. Some four walls make round a room.
감상해 볼까요?
Between the lips a silver spoon, a story written all too soon. The chosen dwelling of her heart, unjustly chosen to depart. Lost her liberation lays in the center of a maze.
퍽쇼.
With surging tide, the waves are thrown.
얘 왜 갑자기 시를 읽고 있지?
On its own. But on its surface you may see, reflected in
물에
the
비치는
water's
것도 알아?
the orchestrator, pale and still.
근데 이게 뭔가 힌트가 될까?
Strings, enacting will. Hard of head, but free of mind, unimprisoned, unconfined. With starry eyes, she sees beyond, behind our walls, beneath our pond. A soul untied, it's hers, it's free. Was then, is now, will ever be. Softly does the flower grow, all in time, and time is slow. Rest a seed within the earth, but do not rush its gentle birth. Hour by hour, day by day, tune your heart to
근데 핑크 머리일 때가 더 이쁜 것 같아.
eavesdrop what the stars are saying. Earthly tether.
누구보다 세속적인 것 같은데.
Helpless from the worst of
얘 아빠였죠?
jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet.
그냥 이런 시를 넣고 싶었는데 제일 어울리는 애가 얘였나?
Feathers flashing in the light.
빗속에서 반짝이는 깃털.
Bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage. That's me. I'm on a list of murder suspects.
왜 이것만
It's not
정상적으로
very
얘기해?
cool, but it's just tedious.
Falls a little short, doesn't it?
응? 기대에 못 치지? 못 미치지 이 말 하려고 했던 건가?
So there are two families living in Tangle Tower?
그죠?
3 pointers and 5 fellows.
펠로우가 더 많네.
4 fellows.
What's
한
the
명
connection
죽었으니까.
between them?
There isn't one. Not really.
그러니까 왜 세 가문이 같이 있는 거야?
Flora is a Remington, originally. So was
음.
Primrose, my mother. She married into the Pointers and Flora married into the Fellows.
아,
So
그러면서
the
레밍턴가가
Pointers own the
사라졌구나.
house now?
Flora owns the house. Depending on who you ask, that means her husband Felix owns it too.
아,
What about your father?
His claim over the house kind of fell apart after my mother left.
Where's your mother now?
No idea.
아, 탱글타워 밖으로 나가신 건가
There's
보네요.
something I noticed about Freya's knife wound.
Hit me.
뭘 알아차렸죠?
From what we could tell, the blade went in an
수직?
exact right angle, perpendicular to Freya's body.
수직으로 들어갈 수 있어?
Pool of blood. Nothing on Freya's hands or anywhere else. The whole thing is just a little too peaceful.
그러니까 피가 하나도 안 튀었다는 게 말이 안 돼.
What do you make of the statue?
I know that's the only harp in the whole of 탱글타워. I've never actually seen a real one.
Maybe it's
돈
from
많은 거
Freya's
같은데
eye.
사면 안 되나?
Oh, definitely. You see how old this statue is?
What about the symbols? One of them looks like piano keys.
Yeah, weird. This is mine.
이건 얘기 들었던 거
No,
같은데?
well, yes, it was.
아닌가?
I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It
아,
was
맞-
blank.
아, 그래?
Freya said she wanted to record something.
새소리
Any
같은 게
idea how it
있었는데?
ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
뜯어본 편지.
Don't you think that's weird? That the letter isn't addressed to anyone or signed by anyone?
근데 그게 이외에 이 가분 문 앞에 있는 거지?
Or they're trying to manipulate you? When I first saw it, I thought it looked like Flora was holding a
누가 봐도
knife
그렇게 보여요.
with blood on the tip.
You don't think that anymore?
No, it was a stupid thing to say. The room was dark. I was in shock.
아, 근데 그럴 수 있어. 그럴 수 있어.
But it was blood on the tip. If you hadn't said anything, maybe Fifi wouldn't have checked.
Exactly. It's
그건 또
stupid.
맞지.
But we would have missed out on an important clue.
Is it a clue? Tell me how it's a clue. Tell me how it helps.
딱히 도움 안 되긴 해.
Knife makes any sense. It's just freaking
약간 더
everyone out.
헷갈린달까?
Should never said anything.
묻히든
Freya would always
팔레트.
load up the palette with all the exact colors she was gonna need. I think it helped her zone out,
어.
focus on the actual painting.
근데 뭐가
itself.
비었다는 거지?
Like getting all your sheet music lined up before playing a long piece.
Right. So the blob of black paint in the middle, that was for painting Flora?
Flora's dress, yeah. She wears even more black than I do.
근데 창백해서 검은색 잘 어울릴 듯?
Why is the glass cracked down one side?
Natural wear and tear, maybe?
근데 너무 같은 방향이긴 해.
Freya took good care of her stuff. It was my mother's originally.
아, 엄마
So
거예요?
why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it.
아, 엄마
Freya would
거였으니까
borrow it too sometimes.
언니라서 잘 쓰겠네.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
근데 다 네 거라고
Literally
하던데?
anybody. What was inside?
Nothing.
아무것도 없었어.
Huh.
너 왜 혀차냐?
Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
Was that supposed to be Flora?
플로라.
Oh. How nice.
근데 생각해보니까 피피는 안 깎아놓고 왜 플로랑 깎았지? 자기 딸이
I think
아니잖아.
everybody sees something different.
Did Freya ever tell you what she saw in it?
Not exactly. She said something about it being from a recurring nightmare.
Sorry, but if it was from a nightmare, why would you paint it and leave it
그러니까
in
더
front of your bed?
악몽 꿀 것
Maybe she
같은데.
wanted to take control of it. Giving something a physical form can
저기
be easier
악몽에
to deal with.
나왔어요.
Well, sometimes.
그래서 그린 거야.
Hey, that's me. Not a bad
똑같은데?
likeness.
It looks like you're standing in a rose bush.
Is there something wrong with that?
무슨 사이냐고. 피츠랑.
This is a photo of Fifi and Freya, right?
Yeah,
How come you're not in it? You're friends with them too, aren't you?
I'm not really one for photographs.
Fifi looks like she really admires Freya.
Fifi's loyalty to Freya is
충성도. 친구 아니었어?
That belongs to Flora, I think. Is that Fifi's diary?
어.
I'm sure I've seen it in her room before.
친하긴 하네. 웬만한 거 다 알고 있긴 하네.
Have you ever read it? Do you know what's written in there?
Nope. I'm sure she wouldn't appreciate
맞아, 되게 싫어할 것
invading her
같아.
privacy.
근데 서로가 되게 조심하는 것 같아. 피피랑
Yeah, we are.
퍼피랑.
It's just Fifi's gotten kind of impatient with me recently.
서로 싫어하는
Do
줄
you know
알아.
why?
I'm not sure.
I'm sure she'd tell you if you asked.
Oh, she would. She'd give it to me straight. Probably why I've
아,
avoided it.
맞네. 상처를 줄 수 있네. 친구지만.
I didn't break it.
Does
너
anybody
아니야?
else use the music room?
Yes. I don't know who, but I can tell when somebody else has touched the piano. I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one
그러니까
cage
좀
like
너무
that.
좁긴 해.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do.
왜 멀리
I
못 가요?
don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective.
새가 잘
I've
따르나
seen
봐.
that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Right.
페넬로페?
Those petals.
What about them?
왜?
It's nothing. They're just unusual.
왜 평범하지 않다는 거죠?
I don't know.
이거
what
너잖아,
that
누가
is.
봐도.
Weird, considering we found it hidden in your room.
Well, my room is full of junk. There's probably a bunch of stuff hidden in there. I don't mean like.
방 안
just
치운다는
don't talk to
소리지?
me.
그렇게 이해할게.
Yeah, it's mine.
선율을 들려줄 수
Can you
있나요?
play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
어?
Yeah, it's mine.
다른 대답은?
What's so special about it?
I got it from my teacher.
아, 처음 배운 곡이야? 아,
How long have you been playing?
Since the day I turned 6. Family tradition.
전통이에요?
I was really excited to start learning. As soon as I got out of my first lesson, I told Freya and Fifi all about it. When I arrived at my second lesson the next
프레야?
day, Freya was there too. She hadn't asked permission.
어,
Just showed up.
좀 싫어하는 것 같은데,
2
프레야?
whole years, the teacher taught us both.
Was Freya any good?
She would
어?
have been even better than me if she'd stuck with it. But one day she
얘 약간
just
질투하는 것
stopped
같아.
coming to lessons.
얘 약간
That's
의심스러운데?
just it. There was no reason.
표정 봐봐.
That's when I realized things were different for her.
어?
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure.
이것까지는 뭐, 아, 그러면 아까 그걸 먼저 클릭했으면 음표까지 들을 수 있었겠네요. 황금
You
딱정벌레.
get some weird insects around here, but I've never seen one like that.
아, 정말?
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep
아,
beetles
딱정벌레
and moths
키웠어?
in her room.
근데 왜
Uh,
지금은 없지?
Why?
For fun, obviously.
프레야 별로 안 좋아하는 것 같은데?
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
다락방.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
쟤는 다락방을
Did you find
이제
that in Fifi's
깨달은
room?
것 같아.
No. Should we have?
다 피피 걸로
No, it's
오해하네?
just, it looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
다 피피 걸로
Oh, been to the
오해하네요.
greenhouse? What did you think?
Impressive, I guess.
굉장히 신기했어요.
But kind of unsettling with Fitz lurking in the shadows the whole time.
Yeah, he does that. Is
장식된
that a
모종사.
gardening trowel?
Yeah. I think it belongs to Fitz.
Really?
어?
Never seen him use it.
진짜로?
I see a lot of birds up in the rooftop garden. They seem to really like it up there.
Why's that?
It's quiet.
Do you
아니,
know
사람이
where
잘
those
안
earrings came
드나드니까.
from?
I put them there.
Why?
I found them lying around. They
아,
belong to Fitz.
근데 못
Put them
봤던 것
on
같아,
set just so we'd
지금까지.
see them. I thought they looked like headphones, like he's in the
어,
recording studio with
약간
his guitar.
그렇기도?
No?
If they do belong to Fitz, he hasn't taken them back yet. When did you find them?
This morning.
오늘 아침.
I don't know, in a hallway.
근데 오늘 아침에 아닌가? 오늘 아침. 일단
There's
오케이.
something about that diary we found in Fifi's room.
응?
Something suspicious.
왜
Let's ask her
수상해?
about it.
지금 가죠? 왜 수상한 거야, 근데? 혐의.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an
근데 보통
explanation.
비밀일기장은 잠궈 놓잖아.
A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by
정의를
those in the
설명해
ages of
주는데요?
10.
So, there are secrets written in here?
뭐 저렇게
This
잘난
particular diary is
표정이죠?
unused.
It doesn't look unused.
약간 헐었는데? 이건 다른 누군가의
It's
일기장인가?
somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary.
일기장과 비교할 단서가
The
필요하다고?
original owner was.
단서. 사진? 이건가? 저 사진?
Let's take a closer look at this.
이것 때문에 그런 거 아니야? 맞다. 똑같이 생김. 똑같은 것은 프레야의 소유라는 것을 증명한다.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
You were hiding Freya's diary
맞네.
in your room.
원래
and you kept it
잠금 장치도
locked, too.
없었네요.
Why would I do either of these things?
왜 그런 짓을 하죠, 근데? 뭘까? 왜 숨겼을까? 개인적인 비밀? 피피가 누구에게도 알리고 싶지 않았던 것은 프레야의 개인적인 비밀이므로 프레야의 일기 속에 있었다?
Fifi didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know
맞나봐.
Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing. In her own way.
무슨 일을
By
했는데?
concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her
아니,
innocence.
결백을 증명하고 싶으면
Innocence.
더
might be
보여줘야 되는
easier
거
if
아님?
you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
왜 증거를 숨기죠?
Very well. I will open it.
열어준대.
However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
충성심이 강하네. 맞네. 충성심이
Alright,
강해.
Fifi,
Finally, what's in there?
내용이 뭐죠, 근데? 그게 다시 보인다. 이번에는 실제로. 나인가? 내가 그렇게 만든 건가? 그 그림을 찢어버려야 할 것 같다. 영혼 전달자는 성공이다. 장한 녀석. 이제 내게는 2개가 있다. 둘이 더 필요해. 중앙으로 가는 길을 찾았다. 하프랑 비교하면 굉장히 단순했다. 그들을 모두 봤다. 5 모두 눈을 까맣게 그었다. 하지만 모든 것에도 불구하고 나는 아직 지켜야 할 약속이 있다. 나는 최선을 다할 것이다. 그녀에게는 동반자가 있어도 좋을 것이다. 저게 뭔 말이야? 야, 뭔 소린지 모르겠는데요. 그리고 그러면 순서대로 이렇게 내려봅시다. 이렇게. 얜 대답 하나도 안 할 것 같은데. 플로라는 아무 말도 안 해줄 것 같아.
anything we should know? Any hobbies besides staring out the window?
그렇죠?
We met Felix, your husband.
역시나.
He's one of our suspects, and he seems
대답이?
pretty suspicious if you ask me. So, if you want to stick up for him,
말빨 화려하네. 거의 뭐 홈쇼핑인데.
Nice try.
Nice try.
We spoke to your daughter Fifi.
아, 근데 딸이랑 엄마랑 어쩜 이렇게 다를 수 있지?
You must be proud of her.
아빠랑도 다르게 생겼어.
We spoke to Hawkshaw. I assume she didn't get anything out of you.
그랬겠지.
Either. I bet that really.
말을 안 하셨겠지.
Were you close with Freya?
와, 진짜. 어쩜 저렇게 말을 안 할 수 있지?
Did you
좀
kill
한마디라도 해주면 안 돼?
What? I don't even think she's listening.
Oh, she's listening.
듣고는 있지 말을 안 할
Do you
뿐.
and Fitz have anything to do with each other? Other than your initials?
와, 정말.
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomy professor guy?
Can you see him from your
물어보는 게
window?
의미가 있냐?
Can he see you?
What do you know about Penny?
I imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
아, 네, 맞긴 해.
You never know.
전혀 안 친해 보이는데요?
Do you and Poppy get along?
Nothing. Shocker.
쇼크.
Grimore, what could you possibly be writing down?
그니까.
Oh no, I gave up making notes ages ago.
뭐 적고 있었어, 그럼?
Now I'm just doodling.
아, 정말 탐정 맞냐? 이것도 다 물어봐도 소용이 없을 듯? 표정은 전부 달라지네요. 아닌가? 똑같냐? 계속? 표정은 조금씩 달라져. 고개 각도도
Did you
달라지고요.
ask Freya to paint this? Or was it her idea?
이런 건 대답해 줄 수
What
있잖아.
is that you're holding in the painting, Flora? Some people have been saying it's a knife.
칼은 아니지 않을까 싶은데. 와, 정말 과묵하시네요.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
꿋꿋이 질문하는 나도 좀 이상하긴 해.
Flora,
어차피
this
대답이
is
없을 걸 알면서.
your egg? Why do you keep it locked?
Is there supposed to be something in there? Or is it
아,
always
좀
empty?
각도라도 바꿔줘. 바꿔줬네.
What do you think of your husband's hobby?
Do you
눈을
have any
감으셨어요.
hobbies?
없으신가 봐요.
You haven't seen this yet, have you?
왜 같이 만들어놨을까? 근데
It's a
진짜.
little model of you. Who were the other people next to you?
이건 누구야? 그림을 찍은 사진. 와우. 관심 없고요?
This is a photo of Fifi, isn't it? Your daughter?
맞아. 이게 딸이죠? 진짜 다르게 생겼다.
Have you seen this book before? Do you know who it belongs to?
이거 하라는 거
I
맞죠?
really thought she was going to say something there.
그니까. 전혀 관심이
Do you know
없네요.
anything about these birds? Or birds in general?
알겠냐? 저 표정을 보고도? 네, 관심이 없고요. 네, 대답도 없고요. 아무 말이
Do
없네요.
you know anything about this beetle?
표정도 변하지 않고요.
Do you know what this is?
와우.
Guess not.
이분은 성우가 아예 없었을까? 한마디도 안 하나, 진짜? 이럴 거면 캐릭터 왜 만들어?
Do you recognize any of these feathers?
좀 너무하지 않나? 알아도 소리를 내줄 수 있지 않나? 근데 하나도 안 내주네요? 세상에. 얘는 좀 대답해주겠지?
Dearest Flora, a
Flora.
remarkable woman. Yes, been married over 20 years.
오래됐네.
You two
아,
still
하긴
get on?
딸이 19살이니까.
Of course. What a question.
She hasn't gone quiet on you.
It's true she has an independent streak. She's had it her whole life. She's the youngest of three. Always something of a lone wolf, you know?
세 형제?
Just the way she is.
그러면
Lone
레밍턴
wolf
가문에
is putting it
한 명이 더
lightly.
있다는 건데.
She doesn't seem to want to talk to anyone.
She just likes time to herself, away from the company of other
근데 어떻게 아이가 생겼죠?
Humans?
well, yes, other people, you know.
어떻게 아이가 생겼죠?
You're the one currently basking in his presence. You tell
딱히
me.
궁금한 건 없어요.
Let's move on.
위피.
My daughter Fiona, our little burgeoning genius. You met
만났죠.
her?
We did. She's going by
맞아.
Phoebe these days.
근데 이름을 왜 피오나라고 지었대?
I asked her some weeks ago, what's wrong with your real name? She
슈렉.
told me, get this, she wants
아,
a name with an even number of syllables.
진짜 가지가지 한다.
She makes up the strangest things when she's under pressure.
진심인 것 같은데요?
What makes you think she made that up?
I happen to know the real
어?
reason
그걸
she
어떻게?
prefers
뭔데?
speaking over Fiona.
진짜 이유 알려줘, 나도.
It's what Freya called.
아, 프레야가 딸을 부른 애칭이 필피야.
Quite the character, eh? A fellow member of the order.
진홍색 망토교단?
Is that a real thing?
그게 뭐야?
Just meant to because they both wear, you know,
자기까지
red
포함이었어?
tights, of a sort.
Has she questioned you yet?
If you call that questioning, she seemed bored by everything I had to say.
나 지루할 수 있어요.
The grapevine. Supposedly,
헉쇼.
Hawkshaw is searching for some rare
희귀한 물건?
item, something called the
어?
golden
황금 딱정벌레라고?
Honestly, it's probably a bunch of sensationalist
그걸 왜
rubbish.
찾으러
You
왔대?
reckon?
Quite sure. There is no treasure.
근데
called the
봤다
golden
그랬잖아, 몇 번.
beetle.
How do you know?
Because I would have heard of it.
저 정도는 자의식 과잉인데.
Skilled as an artist, but Freya was so much more.
예체능에 재능이 많았나 봐.
And she helped me get started with my
오.
own painting, you know. It taught me what she knew about wood
아,
carving.
그걸 프레야, 아,
From
그래서
endless
프레야를,
patience. She was ever
어허.
so good with dear Flora.
그래서
and
프레야를
Flora
조각했나 보다.
Oh yes, especially especially recently.
How are you related to Freya?
Somewhat distantly, as it happens. My father, Lord Fellow, was her grandfather. Technically, that makes her a fellow. Let's just say there was some discussion over whether she ought to
아니,
carry
성
the name at
주지.
all. There's a family tree in the grand hall.
봤어.
You should take a look at it.
What about her inheritance?
Freya's parents died when she
그럼
was
유산이
around
없어?
3 years old. She came to live here shortly
아.
afterwards.
Nobody left
부모님이
her the
돌아가셔서 이 탱글타워에 나온 거야?
She had no formal claim over
그렇겠네요.
anything
이미
at
나간
탱글타워.
사람이니까. 피치.
Fitz? I don't trust him. He's slippery.
서로
Never
싫어하네.
commits to anything. Brain like an onion.
An onion?
Did you two have an argument?
No, but my daughter doesn't like him at all. And I trust Fiona's
너?
judgment
그 아님?
Yes.
그녀가
She's a
아니잖아.
very
그잖아.
vigilant young woman.
피치 여자였어? 누가 봐도
Percival
남잔데.
Pointer. Yes. Good
어,
old
친구예요?
Sir. What do you reckon? Is he the murderer?
아니 그냥 멍청한 천문학자
We
같은데?
still
That
need...
is not information we're willing to share at this time.
오,
I'm just
전문적이야.
saying, keep an eye on him.
딱 잘라
Holds on to
끊는데
a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
불쌍하다고?
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
아,
Childhood
오래됐네.
friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival.
명예요? 딱히 명예 같진 않은데.
Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger, always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle.
아,
And he really
그래.
only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage.
아,
It's a
그래서
nice gesture.
피치랑
Heartfelt,
결혼하려고 하는 거구나.
but futile.
뭐야? 친구라며. 근데 왜 싫어해?
Poppy's a good friend to my daughter. Always has been. I think they get on well because they're so different.
맞아,
Different
정말
like
달라.
how?
Poppy is, she's quite introspective, good with feelings. Fiona, not so much. Still, Poppy always seems to be sulking about something.
The heavy, heavy price of emotional intelligence.
그렇군요. 와, 이것도 다 물어봐야 돼.
Charming, isn't it? Yes. Built by the
어,
Remington
그건
family
들었어요.
originally. Dear Flora's father and his associates.
But now it's owned by you? By the fellow family?
아니잖아.
The fellows and the pointers have
아,
both
둘 다.
certain
근데 레밍턴과
And who named it
인
Tangled
저기가
Tower?
있잖아요.
Flora chose the name.
Oh.
What does
플로라?
it mean?
I think it was her intention that it mean
새
nothing
출발.
at all. Something of a
아무
fresh
의미가 없어
start.
보이긴 해요. 탱글타워.
From what?
This really isn't for me to say, but she had some kind of disagreement
아,
with her
그래?
siblings. After they moved
사이가 안
away,
좋았나 보다.
Flora changed the name of the house.
아, 원래 이 이름이
I
아니었나
think perhaps she
보네.
hoped it would make them feel unwelcome. Yes, less
어?
likely to
형제를
come.
좋아했었어?
That's kind of extreme.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
극단적이긴 하네요.
What's this?
It's my case file. It's how I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You mean to say you're bound by the limits of what's written in this little document? Sounds dreadful.
I found it coming.
참네. 저 잠깐 화장실 좀 갔다 올게요. 아유, 죄송합니다. 이어서 하죠?
A pencil drawing of
Mood.
이어서
Rather
단서에 대해
ugly, isn't
물어보도록
it, as far
하겠습니다.
as statues go? Years of wind and rain have not been
되게
kind
오래
to
있었던
Do you know
조각상인가
what it
봐.
is? The creature, I mean.
It's connected to the Remington family
아,
history in
레밍턴이랑
some way.
관련 있는 거예요?
But I can't recall.
응? 그래,
That
기억이 안 날
looks
수
like it
있지.
might belong to Poppy. I'm as confused as you
아.
are. It would have been a beautiful
그러니까 그림은 진짜
painting.
예쁘게 잘 그려졌는데
Rather a shame Freya was unable
해필
to
유작이
finish it.
돼버렸네.
Nothing about it seems strange to you.
Well, all these modern paintings are slightly strange.
맞아.
aren't they?
현대
The
그림
emotion
다
of the piece
괴상하긴 해.
taking over from, say,
어?
anatomical
이건 뭔
accuracy.
말이야?
What about the knife in Flora's hand?
A knife? That's what you see?
You don't?
그럼 뭔데요, 저게?
As I was saying, Freya's artistic approach distorts certain shapes. Hard to say exactly what we're looking at.
아, 그럴 수 있지, 그럴 수 있지.
It's unlike her to leave paint
어?
on the brush.
I think we'll give her a pass.
그치,
given
죽기
the
전이었잖아.
circumstances.
Ah, yes. So we shall. Looks like Freya's paints.
Do you know why the pots are cracked?
맞아,
down
왜 이렇게
one
다
side?
금 갔어?
No, that's very odd. They're normally in excellent
아, 그래?
condition.
You seem
무슨
pretty sure
일이
about
있었나?
that.
저게 금갈 만한?
Flora's quite fond of that old thing.
어,
It's in poor shape, though.
지금 다 깨져 부셔버렸는데요?
Can't say I do. But that looks like it might belong to Poppy.
다 퍼피 건 줄 아는데?
Does Flora normally keep something in here?
She must do, but I admit I've never managed to work out what.
Why not just ask her?
I
대답을
feel
안
like
하실
if
것
somebody
같은데?
keeps something
남편이랑은
locked
대화를
away in a
하시나?
ceramic egg, it's because they don't want to be asked about it.
맞죠,
Rules to
맞죠.
live by.
I've been carving for a
꽤
couple of
됐네.
years now. I was hopeless when I started, but it didn't take me long to
아니, 잘 만들긴
master
했어, 또.
it, as you can see.
Do you paint them yourself too?
I do indeed. Yes. Freya
Oh.
kindly taught me the basics. Nowadays, I can make just about anything I can
네,
imagine.
축하해요.
Of course, this particular model is a self-portrait based on hard fact.
Hard fact, huh? So, you own a sword, Felix?
맞네.
Of
진실이면.
course, I own a great many.
어.
But my weapons are stored well away.
아따, 이거. 허세가, 허세가.
All that.
장난 아니구만.
Now you found it. What do you think?
뭐를?
I had to rush the final touches.
잘 만든 것 같은데?
It turned out all right, though.
What's it supposed to be?
It's Flora, of course, surrounded by all her.
그녀가
favorite
좋아하는 사람? 이 사람 누구야? 저 사람 누군지 모르겠는데.
That's one of Freya's paintings.
맞아요.
It's impressive, but a little miserable for my taste.
맞아. 좀 우울하긴 해.
Freya was quite the talent. She had a way of capturing the spirits of
영혼?
her subjects. Not in an evil way, in a good way.
그냥 잘 그린다는 뜻이겠죠?
My daughter Fiona and her best friend, they grow up so fast.
Do you know why it's ripped like that?
똑같이 생겼어 근데.
Yes. I didn't even notice. No idea.
이건 아세요?
Where did you find that?
It was in the library.
Really? How odd.
왜? 왜 이상한지
Why would
얘기해줘.
someone lock up a book like that?
We think it's a secret diary.
Aha! Teenagers are funny. aren't
내용이
they?
좀 이상하긴 했어 근데
Now,
아까
this is
읽었을 때.
still in very good condition. Apart from the crack, of course.
What about those shards on the inside?
맞아, 이건 뭐야?
Looks like somebody broke a glass.
증거를
trying to
숨기려고 한 것 같다고?
conceal the evidence.
뭐가
Cunning.
있을까?
Bizarre things, aren't they?
왜
Penelope
괴상하죠?
seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
맞아, 불쌍해
Come
불쌍해.
now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to.
아 그런가? 또 그렇게 되나?
That looks like it might belong to Fitz. Goodness me! Oh dear.
Do you know who
누군지
this is?
아세요?
Not a
왜 다 이 사람에 대해서 모른다고 하는 거 누가 봐도 ป๊삐인데.
I've never been one for music. Why not ask Poppy instead?
알겠습니다.
What's this all about? Some
황금
kind of
딱정벌레요.
rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
어? 그런 말을 누가 못해?
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping.
약간 낚싯대같이 생겼어.
My
도르래
friends,
도르래.
shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags
뭔
from a
개-
hot air balloon.
뭔 소리예요 이게?
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
인정. 인정.
Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of
알겠습니다.
expertise.
다 삐오나라 그러네.
That looks like it might belong to Fitz.
삐츠는 진짜 싫어하나 봐. 아무
I've
말도 안
never
해.
seen that
한
before.
번도 못 봤다고요?
Looks valuable.
근데 왜
Is
모종삽일까?
that a clue? Really?
It might
아마도요?
be. The statue was up in the rooftop garden.
Yes, it's been there a while. You can see the brass is
Mm.
slightly tarnished by the elements. But it's
아니,
not too
모두한테
bad.
물어볼 필요가 없는 건가?
Might be salvageable.
There's something about Felix's
어?
paintings.
미술용품이요?
Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
왜
There's
뭐?
something about the image of Flora in the paint. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
나중에 피오나 나중에 이거죠?
So, about this paint we found
맞아.
in the room.
Nothing suspicious about
왜
it.
수상해 근데?
I used it to paint, obviously.
저게 왜
Totally
수상하죠?
normal thing to do.
We never said it was suspicious.
그러게.
Come on,
너
then.
뭐냐?
Out with it. What exactly are you accusing me of?
당신의
It's
물감통이
not
아닙니다.
your paint pot. Did you take it from somewhere else?
What on earth? It's definitely mine. I even have proof. Look, the lid matches the ones on all my
뚜껑?
other paint pots. End of discussion.
That's not the end of the discussion.
We need a clue to compare with
Felix,
Felix's paint.
그
Something to
빨간
prove
물감.
who it actually belongs to.
물감. 물감? 프레이야 물감. 얘 각져 있다, 이거.
Let's take a closer look at this.
아, 맞네. 프레야의 빨간 물감통은 도난당했다. 몰래 뒤바뀌어 있던 것은 펠릭스의 빨간 물감통인데 이를 숨기기에 뚜껑이 뒤바뀌어 있었다.
Freya's red paint pot was stolen and replaced with Felix's red paint pot, but the
맞나?
lids were swapped to hide it.
That red paint
어,
is from
맞다,
Freya's
맞다.
supplies, not yours. Swapping the lids doesn't hide what you did.
병 모양이 다르게 생겼네.
Bothering me about paint anyway.
거기에
None of
피가
this is
들어있었잖아요,
connected to
아저씨.
murder.
이 빨간 물감통에 피가 들어가 있잖아요. 그쵸? 이렇게 된 거죠.
This red paint pot was somehow filled with blood before Freya used it to paint Flora.
Oh, that's definitely.
그래, 그 피가 문제라고.
Fine. Here's the story. I was busy working on a project when I suddenly realized I had run out of red paint.
그래?
There was a certain amount of
아,
time pressure.
빌려달라고 했다고.
So I politely asked Freya if I could borrow hers. Just for a little while, you know, perfectly
안 빌려줬니,
reasonable
혹시?
request.
But she said no.
I tried to explain why I needed it, but she
근데
didn't
이런
seem to
이유로
care.
사람을 죽이는 것도 말이 안 되긴 해.
Well, I took Freya's red
그러니까.
paint pot and swapped it with my own
아,
empty one.
빈 물감통을
You went into her
뒀다고?
room.
Not my proudest moment, but it's just paint.
그럼 저
I
피는
don't
누가
think
채우는
else.
거야?
And the paint pot you left behind was definitely empty?
Quite. I have absolutely no idea how it got blood in it. If that's
왜요?
what you're asking.
몰라요?
Why were you in such a hurry to get a hold of red
그러니까
paint
왜
anyway?
빨간 물감이 필요한 거야?
I was trying to finish this
아,
in time
요거
for
칠하려고
Freya's
그랬나 보다.
birthday.
이 빨간색.
I needed red to paint the final details.
Could you not have just
Final
used a different
detail.
color?
Out of the question. It had to be
왜?
red and white.
If you managed to finish it, why haven't you given it to Flora yet?
Well, I decided against it in the end. After what happened, seemed a bit
그죠.
insensitive.
상황이 안 좋긴 했어. 그럼 이제 플로라인가요? 혐의.
So, this painting, specifically that knife
그럼
in
대답은
Flora's
하셔?
hand,
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
이건 칼이 아니야.
it's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting.
그
Something to
비슷한 거 하나
explain what
있었는데.
that knife shape actually is.
깃털. 아까 있었지 않아요? 어딨지? 이거. 이거랑 비슷하게 생김.
Let's take a closer look at this.
요 칼이 실제로는 요거에 나오는 거지. 얼룩새라 그랬죠, 이 친구.
The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink dip bird.
어, 맞았다.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink dip bird is red and
그게
white?
방금 그거의 증거인 거지. 이거. 조각상.
This
맞네.
little thing. I
이거
don't
아니야?
understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part
좋아하는
of a
새
gift for
아니었을까?
Flora. And
그냥?
come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
그건 나도 모르겠는데. 왜일까요? 응? 뭘까? 애완동물 아닐까? 플로라의? 얼룩새는 그런데 기억하기. 아, 혹시 그 큰일이 이건가?
The ink dip bird was
그
Flora's
큰일이
pet,
있었다고
so
했잖아요.
she kept a single feather to remember it by.
맞지
She
않을까?
kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
그래서 말을 잃은 거야,
Maybe
설마?
it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was
그러니까
pretty
중요했던 건가 봐.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does.
어딜까요?
Normally, this is where Flora usually keeps her feather.
R 아님? R. 여기 보관할 게 R밖에 없는데? R 어딨죠? 이거.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty.
그럼 어디 있는 거지?
Flora?
말하시나?
She's pointing at something in the
It's just
말은 안 하시네?
Wait, there's something tucked.
뭐야? 플로라와 작은 새를 그린 그림. 위에 손으로 적은 메시지가 있다. 당신을 위한 거예요. 사랑합니다, 프레이야. 이게 이게
I
뭔데?
like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why?
아, 대답을 안 해. 이것도 다 물어보러 다녀야 되네. 증거가 하나 추가가 됐는데요. 물어볼 게 하나 늘어버렸다. 물어볼 게 있어요.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know.
왜 몰라?
Seems likely though, doesn't it?
아, 모르는 거야? 죽었는지 살았는지도? 그냥 날라간 건가? 너 이거 아니?
Freya drew these,
Yeah.
아, 이것도
I think so.
프레이아가 그린
There's a
거야?
note in the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for
응,
you.
맞아. 그런 거
Like a
같아.
private thing between Freya and Flora.
응? 이걸로 끝이라고? 너무한 거 아니요? 넌 이거 아니? 해위? 이거 본 적 있음?
How sweet.
아! 한마디 너무한 거 아니냐? 얜 말이 좀 많을 것 같은데? 벌써 두려운데? 아, 물어볼 거
A
많다.
fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite
아,
the expert,
그래요?
truth be told. Studied them professionally at one
좋아하는구나.
point. I think her
아,
father
이
taught
가문이
Are you friends?
아니 레밍턴이잖아. 레밍턴 가문이 새를 좋아했나 봐.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too.
맞아. 시끄러울 것 같아.
I can see that.
I do admire her though, really.
좋아하나
Always felt
봐,
like she could have
플로라를.
done better than settle for Felix.
그건 맞는 것 같아. 펠릭스는
I
좀
said it. I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into.
맞아. 자꾸 뭐 여행 가고 싶다 막 이러잖아.
Themselves be
좀
themselves. Between you and
환상에
me, I
빠져
think
있달까?
Felix is
그런
secretly
느낌은
rather
있어요.
miserable. She mostly ignores me if I'm honest.
너 이쁘다 그랬는데?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. I mean,
너
well,
이쁘다
you
그랬어.
don't need to.
좋아하는 것
No,
같던데?
it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it. She's a
헉쇼.
most unsavory little.
왜 불쾌해?
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird
좀
arms?
불편하긴 해.
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment
너무
of others.
팔이 막
I mean,
어우,
look at her. She looks like the ghost
멋져.
of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell
Pointer.
her to behave herself.
포인터가 부른
Professor
거예요?
Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in.
오,
She's his responsibility.
아 그래요?
Did you not know that?
몰랐지.
She'd
알려줘야
sit in
알지.
the aviary, first thing in the morning. and
아,
paint
새
the
그리는
birds.
것도 좋아했나 봐.
Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names.
음,
Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st
Isabella.
birthday, she gave me a framed painting.
오,
All the birds from a single spring.
오호,
Their names written underneath.
짱인데?
I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were
그러니까
close.
친했나 봐. 다 친했던 것
feel like I
같아.
always struggled to articulate my admiration.
페이야랑은 다
But
친했나 봐.
she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
비치.
Isn't he strapping? He is
건장하긴 해.
big.
정말
and
커.
so brooding.
이 춤
Kinda
뭔데?
sulky, yeah.
이
I
춤
can
뭔데?
never tell what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
It just sounds like you don't know him very well.
I don't
아,
remember
그런
asking
느낌도
for your
있고요.
input.
약혼녀 약혼자라기엔 좀 거리가 있어
Can't say
보이긴
I've
해.
ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion, I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
추상적
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently
64만 킬로미터요?
400,000
아니요?
miles wide?
알아야 되나요?
Okay, so what should I do with that information? How does it help me?
맞는 말이긴 해.
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
Oh, she's beautiful.
와, 쥐가 지한테?
She. Wait.
자의식 과잉인데?
Is that me?
와우. 와우.
Did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah,
어,
a little
조금.
bit.
And did you make any notes of what she told you?
아니?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them.
어?
It'll all be lies.
Why
이게 왜 이래?
would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she
쟤 왜 저래?
does. She's a snake. Looks
뱀이라고?
like one too.
Don't you
아니
think
그래도
they know
조카인데
fair, Penny?
아니 조카는 아니지
She started
사촌인데
it.
왜 저래 쟤? 좀 별론데요?
No, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you.
Try living.
하긴
there
맨날
20
살면
years.
그렇긴 해.
The sheen wears off.
우리
If it wasn't for my
시골도
fits, I'd have little reason to
관광지로
stay.
유명해서 자주
What about
오는데
inheritance?
난 맨날
You're the
그렇긴 해.
next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that.
Thank you
But
very
no.
much.
Any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Pop.
버피? 아 그래요?
Couldn't care less, to be perfectly honest.
하긴 아빠가 가주니까 지금 그렇게 하겠다.
Finally, I get to see a detective's
액션이
case file.
굉장히 크네요.
That's a
Finally.
very specific thing to be excited about.
그니까
Only last week I asked
아,
that miserable hawk
보면 안 된다고
if I
했나
could
봐.
see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had
뭐라고
just
했는데?
said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being what was it?
얄팍한 선정주의자요?
Shallow sensationalist.
그래요?
I'm sure I've read about this creature some.
어디서?
Don't remember anything about him
어?
playing the harp though.
뭐야?
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
이거 퍼피가
It
아닌데.
wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly. Hardly the place.
얘 퍼피 진짜 싫어한다. 왜 저래?
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know.
맞아.
It's not
우리도 몰라.
An anonymous letter. Classic clue.
탐정되고 싶었니 너? 왜 이렇게
I
흥분해?
doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think?
모르겠는데.
It's Flora that's the problem.
어?
She's an inescapably
친구라며.
haunting presence, bless her.
아, 이 사람들은 친구라 그랬다가 욕했다가 뭐 아주 들쭉날쭉 난리 날리네.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her pains,
어?
does she? But then
그 말은
she was always
너만
rather bohemian.
하는 거 같은데?
Had her
네가
own
처음이야 그런
priorities.
말 하는 사람.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her
마마폰이요?
mamaphone on account of it belonging to
아,
her mother.
그래서
It's cute.
마마폰이야?
Oh yes, adorable.
끔찍하다고.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
아, 분홍색을 싫어하나 보네?
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. I
그래요?
could say the same thing about her husband.
그건 맞아. 남편이 아는 게 없던데?
A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it?
그 말은 너한테 해주고 싶어.
If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little
왜
much
무리예요?
for me. I find it overbearing. For some
고압적이라고?
reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew.
You've seen these before?
Very nice.
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
그냥 약간 팔방 미인 같은 친구인가
Not
본데?
sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style.
아, 안경이 바뀌었네.
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
아, 멸종한 동물이에요?
Oh yes, the book is very old. Most of the birds
아,
in it
그래?
are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though?
왜 애완새였지? 근데 어떻게
This
애완새였어?
one was thought to be extinct for a long time.
아,
Then one was found here at 탱글타워.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand.
어?
It was the
죽은
last
건가?
one. The very last.
Oh.
아, 죽었나 보네.
Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our best too.
Secret Diary.
Excellent. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room,
맞아.
doesn't he?
Currently.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved.
아,
today.
얌전한
I
거야?
think they know we're in the presence of company.
They
오.
belong to you. Why do you keep them in a cage?
그러니까 왜
They
세장에
need a special
가둬도
diet, particular treatment.
특정
and
관리가
fly
필요하다고?
occasionally, of course.
어허.
But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
아,
Names.
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
어, 따디안.
I've forgotten all three of those names.
나도
Which one is
타티아나만.
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest. Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
그걸 어떻게 알았냐?
That up.
What about the one on your head?
On my
얘도
head.
새야?
It's just my hat. It doesn't
아,
have a
모자래.
name. Who would name their hat?
설마 새를 머리에 붙이고 다니진
Yes, it's
않겠지.
my flower.
아, 얘
You don't
꽃이에요?
like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are
누가
much
키워?
easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
아, 생긴 새만 좋아하는 거야?
The colors? The shape of it? Between you and
특이한데?
me, I think it's a little vulgar.
저급하다고? 왜? 그걸 왜 가지고 있냐?
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
어, 반응 왜 이래요?
You found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we
맞아.
found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with
Now
names?
he'll
It's
get
really none
her.
of your business.
얘도 좀 수상한 것
What's
같기도 해.
worse, how she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
왜 안 알려주는 거지? 저게 그
Looks a little
꽉비라고?
simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
12학년이면은
there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones
어?
just
누가?
for her.
얘 되게 뭔가 그 열등감에 차 있는데?
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping
몰라.
you might know.
No, can't say I. Freya, perhaps. I know she was
추잡한
always very
작은
fond
것?
of grubby little
얘 말하는
things.
게 약간 모순이 있어.
Noted.
Is that for
몰라요.
sewing?
무슨 용도인지 알 수 없어요.
We have no idea.
작은 렌즈.
Don't know what that is.
화분의 열매.
Delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
그쵸, 못
Yes.
먹겠죠.
At one point, I thought Fitz might be growing them to
근데
sell
어디다
them.
써요?
But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look.
취미가 참 특이하시네요.
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Not
아니, 우리가 찾았어.
exactly.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
네가 만들어준 거냐?
Oh, there used to be all kinds of birds here at 탱글타워. The most fascinating breeds, all totally.
신기한 애들이 여기 있는 것 같아.
There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
아,
What
그래?
happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That
어떻게
is a very
됨?
good question.
어떻게 됐어? 어? 어떻게 됐냐고.
Lovely.
그래, 멋져.
It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago.
응?
Oh, how sad.
1년 전에는 있었나 봐요, 저 새가. 얘
There's
지금
something
죽었나
about
봐.
the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower.
어?
Something
Let's
suspicious.
ask him about it.
왜 뭐가 수상해? 나 왜 뭐가 수상한지 모르겠지? 약간 자유도가 떨어져. 근데 자유도가 떨어지긴 하는데 그렇다고 여기서 뭘 더 하면 여기서 자유도를 더 줘버리면 내가 못 풀 것 같아요.
Let's ask her about it.
나중에 가자. 물어볼 게 있어요.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were
맞아.
Pointer
칼
Tower,
들고 갔다고 했어.
holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I
근데
don't
목격자가 있는데요?
Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much.
왜 싫어하는
She
걸까?
was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens.
시력 렌즈?
thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
칼이 아닌 거 아닐까?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
그 모종삽인 거지.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
모종삽.
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have
Oh.
no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
이게 아닌 너? 혹시 얘랑 짝인 거야? 잠깐만. 얘는 짝이 맞는 세트가 있다. 이거. 빼니의 방에서.
An ornate trowel is part of a matching set.
맞나 이거?
Potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe just change.
빼니의 방에서 아니야? 아, 이건가 보다.
An ornate trowel was used to bury a potted flower in Penny's room. Almost. Maybe
아니라고?
just change.
아, 돌보는 데
An
사용한 건가?
ornate trowel was used
맞았다.
by Fitz to
띵동했어요.
look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
띵동했어.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower.
비교할
Something
단서요?
that proves its connection to
피치와
Fitz.
연관성을 입증할 수 있는 것? 그거 흑.
Let's take a closer look at these.
흑. 이거. 이것과 일치하는 것은 이거요.
The pot and soil in Penny's room
하트 그래.
matches.
아우,
Pot and
둘이
soil
서로
found in the
좋아하네.
garden. Almost.
야, 혼자
Maybe just change one
왜?
thing.
피치의 온실.
Pot and soil in
맞았다.
Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse.
맞지?
Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
맞아.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like
이게
Penny.
페니처럼 생겼어요?
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be
이거
exactly
어딜
right.
봐서 페니처럼
That's
생겼어?
some gift.
Turns
나만
out
모르겠어?
Penny isn't particularly interested in.
아, 그래서 매번 숨어가지고
So I
아,
every now and
와,
again.
찐사랑꾼이네, 이분.
Water the flower, change the soil. Just
찐사랑이었어. 바람이 아니었네. 미안해요, 오해해서. 찐사랑이었네. 미안합니다, 오해해서. 아, 근데 오해할 수밖에 없었잖아. 장미꽃을 들고 있었는데. 해위?
So, yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote "Now
No.
I'll get her" on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
맞아. 아니지
Actually,
않아.
it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flowers.
맞아, 이거 왜 있는 거야?
The petals.
빨간 장미?
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tango Tower with red
정원.
roses.
We need a
옥상 정원.
clue. Something that shows the roses and who they belong
아, 이게 질투해서 그런 건가? 이것 때문에?
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden.
질투한 건가?
I can't imagine what you're getting at. But it
그래서
doesn't matter.
퍼피를
Couldn't
싫어하나?
have taken anything from the rooftop garden.
왜?
It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room.
아,
How
그래서?
could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those two bedrooms?
For most people, it would be.
새
But
있잖아,
don't
새.
forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
새를 시켰다고?
What are you accusing?
근데 새가 할 수 있어요. 새대가리인데? 가능해? 아. 어? 아, 이건가? 이렇게? 증거를 훔쳤기 때문이다. 퍼피와 피츠. 이건가 보다.
Penny's birds
맞았다,
used to
맞았다.
spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal
그러니까
everything.
둘이 불륜 사이라고 오해를
We
한
know
거지.
those two have been spending time together in the rooftop garden.
아닌가?
I'm guessing you got paranoid.
아, 찐사랑이네, 둘 다. 엄청 찐사랑이네요.
Just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage. She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop.
타바타가 날라갔고.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in
타바타가 날라간 거야. 깃털 아니야? 깃털?
Let's take a closer look at these.
타바타. 이건 거지. 훔친 것은? 남긴 것은 옥상 정원을 방문했을
This
때다.
whole feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
맞았죠?
I can't stand it.
어?
Knowing the two of them are hidden away up there. in their
질투
private
엄청 하시네.
little
근데 그럴 수
garden.
있다고 생각해, 난.
Risk spying on them myself. So I asked
근데
dear
어떻게
Tabitha to
새가 그
report
짓을
it.
하지?
I
굉장한데?
knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
그게 빨간
Sorry,
장미였네.
Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
맞아.
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little...
어?
I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
아, 질투를 했네. 그러면은 누가 죽인 걸까? 아, 아직까지도 범인이 누군지 감이 안 와요.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
그렇구나.
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional
가족에
family.
문제가 있었나 봐.
I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead
그렇군요.
end. He should
Felix.
learn to make the most of his lot in life, and he does have a lot in life.
You're
부럽다.
talking about money?
Among other things, but
나도
yes,
돈
he
많고
currently
싶다.
has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
절친 맞냐? 서로 싫어하는데.
Ah, yes, the heiress of 탱글타워. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a
관심 없을 것
microscope.
같은데.
She doesn't seem to be the type to impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are
질투
you
맞는
two
것 같은데?
science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
네가 일 시켰다면서.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough.
그건 나도 그랬는데
Then, of course, I
얘는 아닌 것 같아. 허술해.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two
그렇군요.
things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever
그것도
interested in
맞지.
astronomy?
똑똑해도
I
그림 잘 그릴
don't
수
think
있어.
she was,
The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her, but I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I've begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the
한 뼘마다
grounds
100번도 넘게
100 times
관찰했다고?
over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at 탱글타워.
그러니까 여긴 갇혀 있는데 자유로울 수 없는데.
Nobody could deny her talent. What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the
맞아.
family.
조카잖아. 아, 포인터가 아니지.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the
그래요?
fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
어? 근데 얘 피츠가 어떻게
I don't
태어났지?
especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
님이 굉장히 자만심이 많은 것 같은데요?
Why don't we discuss the moons
싫어요.
of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
짱 많다.
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in
어?
time,
지금은 그렇다는 말은
if
뭐야?
she marries the gardener,
되게
She'll still be your
싫어하네.
niece.
but
fellow.
she'll depart from the world of the pointers and join the fellows.
그렇다고 포인터랑 결혼할 순 없잖아.
Deserting a sinking ship.
이게 말이 되나?
My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
당연하죠. 모든 일 용의자니까요.
Oh no, I can personally vouch for her innocence. She
제일
never...
의심 가는데 지금?
Well, the truth is, she loved
질투 좀 하던데요?
very
열등감
dearly.
느끼던데?
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She
Primrose?
was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where
아,
did she go?
자유를 찾아 떠난 거 아님?
She went away.
예.
So which one is Tangletower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower
맞아.
and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have
어?
no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
플로라한테 물어봐야 된다고?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her
아,
family.
무슨 다툼이
With Felix, you
있었길래
mean? Her
저
husband?
정도가 되는 거지?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see.
그래요?
I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in
아,
over a decade.
세상에. 그럴 수 있나?
Not exactly a wealth of information, is
아,
it?
나 까지 말라고.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The
건들
poor
거는
fellow's
아닌데.
in bad enough shape as it is.
내가 치울 권한이
Isn't
없는데요.
the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming
맞아.
one with nature
분해도 안
all
된다고.
the same. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside.
맞아.
I
누가
think
버린 거
someone threw it
같았어.
away.
How peculiar.
혹시 네가 보냈니?
Hmm.
제가 보냈나 본데.
I find that painting to be in rather
왜?
bad taste.
잘 그렸는데.
The knife with real blood on it. The whole thing is rather vulgar.
칼 아닌 거
Here's a
찾았는데.
thought. Do you suppose the paintbrush could
물감붓이
be the murder
살인무기야?
weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to
물감붓으로
Freya's
찔러도
body.
피 한 방울 안
Yes,
나고
it's
있다.
possible.
불가능한 일이 아니라고?
Is
그럴
this
수 있나?
important?
Possibly.
Pointer property originally
어? 포인터 거예요?
purloined by the fellows.
펠로우가에 도둑 맞았다고? 저건 또 뭔 말이야?
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
몰라요.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Curious little thing, isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment, it was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
왜?
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
응?
This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
맞아.
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he
별로야?
tried.
Yes, I
그래,
suppose it's
괜찮은
good
것
for the
같은데.
old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his
내
mind from
동갑같이 안
decaying,
보임.
you
얘가
know.
한참 늙어 보여요.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
나랑 똑같네요.
Fascinating interpretation.
해석이 나랑 똑같아.
It is a big red thing.
These were drawn by Freya. She
네.
must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
그랬겠죠?
I guess.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
지금도 순수하게
That's a
계시지
very old
않을까?
book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book.
손때탄
better than one that's
책이
never been opened.
뭔가 끌리긴
well
하지.
put. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a
누가 봐도
diary.
비밀 일기장이에요.
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
이족보행인지 모르잖아.
Playing
사족보행일 수도
trumpet.
있는 거 아님?
That's rather a small cage for three birds, isn't it? But then,
그럴 것 같아.
aren't we all trapped in a cage?
어?
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturist.
사회사세요.
That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my
단호하시네.
business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
왜 우리까지
What a
싸잡아?
precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
누군데요?
If you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
어? 뭐지? 왜 자꾸
my.
숨기지?
This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano.
스승님이 엄마야? 아,
She passed it down to
그런가
Poppy
보다.
when she started teaching her how to play.
맞네. 스승이
Poppy's piano
엄마네.
teacher was her mother.
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything,
그런 일?
Poppy
그런
still
일이
has
뭐죠?
it up on her wall.
So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of 탱글타워. I'm not the
그렇구만.
first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls.
맞아,
It was in
네
your
거,
astronomy
네 자리에
tower.
있었는데? 왜 말을 못해?
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he
그런
has to
척을
pretend
해야
it is.
된대.
That's how it works.
What's
어이가
this?
없네.
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about
맞아.
it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope.
맞아?
It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see.
삼각대 고정하는 부분?
It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see
니도
many
일단
stars
별을
with
안 보고
No.
저기만
probably
보잖아.
not.
it. Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it.
그게
Makes
먹진
you wonder
못하죠.
why he bothers at all.
좋아할 수
Oh,
있지.
you found a murder
살인
weapon?
무기를 찾았네.
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me. I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
왜?
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front
얘가 안 해.
riding.
Always wears.
Whenever I've seen him, yes.
네 말 듣기 싫은가 보다.
Yes, very nice.
어우,
Where is that
비꼬네.
bird of Flora's? It's
새끼
been a
이거.
while since I've seen it.
죽었다던데?
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something.
맞아,
suspicious.
수상해.
Let's ask him about it.
매우
So-
수상함.
Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
그렇군요.
And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
쟤 뭔 말이야?
Why do you ask me these things?
네가 보는 게 하늘이 아니라서?
Professor.
Oh, go on.
당신은 사실 천문학에 전혀
You're
관심이
not really
없습니다.
interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
그건 모르는데? 아, 곤충.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant
강한
insects.
부정은
My
강한
studies focus
긍정이라고
only on the
했는데요.
inconceivably large and the unimaginably far
강한
away.
부정, 이건 강한 긍정이라고
That's why
되는데.
you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another
다른 세계로 통하는 문이
About that.
브라인가요? 포인터의 만원경이 실제로 보고 있던 건 범죄 현장이었다. 이며 하늘을 보고 있는 게 아니었다.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime
아,
scene and not the
곤충인가?
sky.
맞았네.
First you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of what? Spying?
Are
내가
you
저번에
spying?
봤다고.
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
플로라.
Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made
아,
you paranoid. You think somebody stole it
그게
from you.
플로라라고 생각하는 건가?
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
아, 프레야가 훔쳐갔을 거라고 생각하는 거야?
It's a very precious specimen.
짝정벌레를
Incredibly
키우니까.
rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers
오.
and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
그래서
So,
죽였니?
this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room. around
맞아,
the
보고
time of the
있었잖아요.
murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't.
왜
When
못
I
봐?
looked into the room, Flora was already lying
아.
on the floor.
Flora?
그래요?
You mean
플로라가
Freya?
누워
No,
있었다고?
Flora. She
어?
was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark.
플로라가 왜
Telescope
누워
isn't at
있어?
a very good angle.
누워있다는
That's
얘기
why I
들어봤는데
decided to head
무릎
over
꿇고
there
있었다
myself.
그러지
I
않았나?
needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left
맞아.
your tower in the first place.
Right.
왜?
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
뭘 짚어봐야 돼, 지금? 여기도 물음표 떴어.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
정원에 있는
Maybe we
동상이야?
should go back and check.
이게 뭐야?
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a
주워봐.
little wooden toy. Looks.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
뭐야? 단순한 선율? 제 새로운 친구입니다. 음악을 좋아하죠. 단순한 선율은 그의 영혼을 감동시킬 겁니다. 그에게 행운을 빕니다. 혹시
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How cute.
아니 그럴 리가 없잖아.
Why don't we check the
죽었는데?
handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect
어?
match.
well, it's confirmed.
프레야가 살아있다고? 유령이 우리 돕고 있다고?
Let's keep this to ourselves.
What about the
이게
little
무슨
wooden
말도 안
toy
되는-
thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
단순한 선율이면 뭐야? 끝나지 않은 사건. 이게 챕터 두 번째 챕터인가 봐요. 호아피한테 가자. 얘한테 단순한 선율 이거
Yeah, it's mine.
선율을
Can you
들려줄 수
play the
있나요?
tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
근데 이렇게 하고 어떻게 듣지? 이러고 보면 뭐가 보이나? 뭐가 나왔어. 아, 피아노. 피아노? 잘못 왔다. 얘는 또 왜 물음표야?
We
범죄
know a little
현장.
more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
물감통의 피는 칠한 얼룩새 깃털을 덧칠한 데 사용됐다. 그냥 피 묻은 칼을
Blood from the
연상시킨다.
paint pot was
Oh,
used to
띵동이 안
paint
떴어.
over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. Almost. Maybe just change.
증거를 숨기기 위해서이다?
Blood from the paint pot
이것도
was
아니네?
used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to hide the evidence. No?
아닌가 봐. 이거?
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted flora to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right.
이게 아니라고? 그럼 이게 아닌가 본데? 이거?
Paint from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
하나만 바꾸랬는데?
Almost. Maybe just change. Paint from the paint pot was replaced by the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right either.
이것도 틀렸다고?
Paint from the paint pot was used to paint over the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife. That's not right either.
이게 아니야. 그러면 그림에 사용됐다. 끝이 빨간? 이거?
Blood from the paint pot was used
아,
to paint the
이거였어요?
red tip of the painted
이게
ink dip
틀렸었구나.
feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange
그니까
coincidence,
왜지?
or somebody set it up.
왜 그런 짓을 한
Somebody
거지?
deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
범인을 자기를 숨기려고?
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather. Unless someone...
근데 쓰러졌다 그랬잖아.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time.
그쵸.
It stayed locked until Fitz kicked
잠겨
it down.
있었지.
Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
맞아.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on.
그쵸?
If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what,
그니까
and more interested in the how.
어떻게 죽일 수 있었지? 밀실이었는데
The
완전?
angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle.
직각으로
That is,
찍혔다.
from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
그럴 수가 없잖아.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with a painting.
Maybe something went through it.
응?
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
그치. 그럼
Okay, well,
구멍이
how about
있어야죠.
this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over
No.
are completely
그렇네.
unrelated.
그럴 수도 있네.
It's a garden, I think. It's
We could.
ready when you are.
정원으로 가죠.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
아, 요런 식으로 나오는구나. 오케이.
Let's come back later.
종이랑 입술? 근데 이제 또 힌트 없냐? 잠시만요. 이제 이 사람한테만 물어보면 되거든. 아니. 이 사람한테 물어보면 되는데. 잠시만. 쪽지가 없나? 소리? 소리를 찾아다녀야 되나? 소리. 일단 얘한테 물어보죠.
Quite the stoic statue, isn't she? I can only dream
금욕주의자
of being as
동상이요?
cold and indifferent as Flora Fellow.
너도 이미 차가움.
She's hiding something?
Perhaps. She has some strange habits. I heard she
무슨
barely
습관?
sleeps, and I would hear her
진짜?
sporadically.
저러면
Spends the
쓰러지지
rest of
않을까?
time staring up at the sky. Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious.
재미없긴 해, 대화가.
Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable.
맞아,
She has
진짜
no ambition, no
대박이던데.
focus.
In her defense,
엄청
she's
똑똑해.
still a teenager.
Barely. 314 cases solved.
300? 300?
Freya Fellow is of great interest to me.
왜?
I perceived her to be the most intelligent
아, 가장
individual
총명한
here at
사람이에요?
탱글타워. Within a
머리가
day,
엄청
she had
똑똑했나 봐.
identified for whom I was working
오,
and for
진짜
what I was
똑똑하네.
searching. I didn't know how she did it. I was
돌연변인데, 거의.
impressed. I regret that I did not question her more thoroughly when I had the opportunity.
You couldn't have known she was about to be killed, though.
I have only myself to blame for failing to perceive the signs.
그래.
What signs?
I do not wish to do your job for you,
아,
detective.
좀 같은 업계 사람들끼리 좀 공유도 하고
Freya
그러면서
Fellow.
지내지.
I'll say this: he's well suited to physical labor.
That's a nice way to put it.
Fitz
그니까.
spends most of his time alone in the greenhouse, but I heard he's been breeding experimental
맞아.
flowers in secret.
Whoa, scandal.
I just wonder if he's getting.
안 쉴 것 같아. 진짜. 피치도 잘 안 쉴 것
Professor
같아.
Pointer's a respectable astronomer.
존경받는
Keeps himself to
천문학자예요?
himself.
어떻게 저런 사람이 존경을 받을 수 있지?
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyway.
그니까. 아! 의뢰인이라서 그런가
I
보다.
find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoilt child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it
아,
worse.
27살이야. 세상 물정 모르긴
Poppy
하네.
has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangletower first.
그건 맞는 말.
Quite. 탱글타워. No idea why they insist on calling it that.
맞아,
Not even
탑도
a
아닌데
tower.
진짜.
It's little more than a pair of turrets stuck on
Mm.
either side of a mansion.
Have you searched the whole place?
I believe so. Why?
다락방도
He
봤나
wants to
해서.
know if you found any secret rooms.
Huh. I'm afraid the residents of
Huh.
탱글타워 are far too ordinary for anything like
평범하진
that.
않은데.
I was disappointed too. You truly consider this a case?
왜 이 정도는 사건 파일이지?
No organization, no system.
That's my style. I like seeing everything laid out. at
그런가?
once. Yeah, it helps me
나도
think.
정리하는 걸 좋아해서 좀 괴망하긴 하네요.
Have you deciphered the meaning of those four
하나는
symbols on the
알아냈어.
harp?
We're working on it.
That's a no then.
하나 알아냈다고.
Where'd you dig that up?
저거 노래도 들으면 되나?
It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps?
저거 노래도 들어야겠다.
Conveniently left anonymous. It's useless until you can prove to whom it concerns.
쓰레기라고.
Can you do that?
No.
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 Makes quite an impression, doesn't it? Although I can't imagine why she painted Flora wielding a knife.
You didn't see a knife.
칼
anywhere in Flora's
아니었다고,
room, did you?
깃털이었다고.
I conclude whatever stabbed Freya must have been brought into the room from
밖에서
outside.
방으로 들여온 거라고?
Unless, of course, it was the painting itself.
설마
Surely
그림
you
자체가
don't believe in that kind
뭐겠어?
of thing.
A detective's job is to examine every avenue of thinking.
에베뉴.
The
국가
paint is still
살렛.
wet.
Yeah, well, we know Freya was in the
아직도
middle of
젖어
painting
있을
when
수
she was
있어.
killed.
지금
Do
몇
you
시간
know
지난
that?
건데.
How? Because you were told?
아, 겁나.
Paints.
겁나 뭐라고 하네.
Paints.
Thanks.
A somewhat cumbersome device.
좀
And
크긴
an
해.
altogether inefficient way to listen to music.
What kind of music do you like, Hawkshaw?
I like anything.
What
그렇구나.
a cop-out.
약간 헤비메탈
I
좋아할 것
believe
같이
that was in
생겼는데.
Flora's room yesterday, but it was not cracked
어?
when I saw
정말?
it last.
금이 간지 얼마 안
You
됐네요.
got it open. I'm impressed. I managed it myself yesterday. I thought Flora might be hiding something in there.
근데 어제도 비어 있었어?
It was. Perhaps it's
아,
always been
그래?
empty. I'd tell him not to quit his day job,
응,
but he hasn't got one, has he?
맞아.
These figurines remind me of a
걸
case I once
주받은
solved involving a possessed
인형이라니
doll. Turned out to
열심히
be a bit of a
만드셨을
smokescreen,
텐데.
as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure?
재밌는
Right at this
모험인가?
very moment?
I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
그건 맞아. 재능이 진짜 좋은 것 같아.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps
그쵸?
they just
모르죠?
wanted it for reference.
When did Freya draw the picture of you,
맞아.
Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking.
그냥 지나가다
She
본 거
must
그린
have done
건가?
it without my permission.
Could just be from memory.
음,
It's not quite as detailed. as
대충
the
그린
others
것
I
같긴
made.
해.
A photograph of Freya could be important. A book from the library, one of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about
해에
birds.
대한 책이라서
Yes, I see that.
너도 탐정하면 안
A
되겠다.
diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And
나
you
읽었는데?
haven't attempted to force it
약간
open?
순서대로 해야 되나 봐. 내가 너무 뒤죽박죽했나
Some
본데요?
breed of amphibious humanoid, potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show
약간
the
그
creature's
대화에서 약간
I guess.
그
well,
중간중간 이질감이 좀 있네요.
Three
대화세장.
birds, one cage. What makes them
Three
worth keeping
birds,
cooped up, I
one
wonder?
cage.
Would they not be happier flying free?
but
맞아.
then they might fly away from 탱글타워 entirely.
I wonder if they would.
날아가진 않을 것 같은데.
And you
아닌가?
consider that important evidence, do you?
뭐 중요할 수도
These people
있죠.
really are ridiculous, aren't they? Who's that?
Not sure.
몰라요.
It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. Is that a
다
clue?
모른데
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree. Doesn't make
법학하기?
it a clue.
어허.
Same. Yeah.
Where did you find this?
Do
천문학자 방에서.
you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories, but they are my theories, and I'm not going
아
to share them.
정말 깐깐하시기는.
What is that?
I'm
몰라.
not sure. It looks like it attaches to something
모르는
else.
Why
거야.
don't you go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest
나도
of the
뭐
something
없던데.
else.
열심히
I'm not so sure
찾았는데.
about that.
This belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And
No.
what is it?
It's my handheld microscope.
아 휴대용
A
현미경이야.
close
만원경이
investigation work.
What do you
좀
magnify with it?
다르게
Trace
말하긴 했네.
particles, dust, oils,
만원경이랑
clothing
현미경이랑
Have you used it
렌즈만
here at
거꾸로 끼면
Tangle
똑같을
Tower?
건가?
I have. I used it to
온실?
examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
이 고객이 확실히 그
The people here are
아주님은 맞으신
surprisingly
것 같아요.
materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic.
물질주의라고 왜?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces
아.
a gemstone-like material.
그냥 저거 보려고
What
키우는
possible
건데?
purpose, other than financial gain?
You're speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone?
저게
straight from the
보석이야?
earth?
나 열심히 팔아먹을래. 그래서 부자
This
될래.
is a potential murder weapon, is it not?
그냥 모종삽이에요.
I don't think the murderer would leave the murder weapon just lying around.
I think
그것도
you'd be
맞는 말이긴 해.
surprised as to what people leave lying around. Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh,
저런
yet.
놈이
Did you see some suspicious
수상한 낙엽을 보셨습니까래. 아
One of
어이없어.
3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is
세
wearing
개나
earphones.
됐나?
Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. for blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
너 탐정 맞지? 이상한데.
Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
아니요?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see.
이제 다 봤어요.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
맞아, 만원경이라고 그러지 않았어? 현미경 맞아?
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense if you knew what my client had asked me to find.
황금
Of course,
그거 아니야?
I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're
아까
such
봤는데?
a cheese, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
이거 황금 딱정벌레.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse?
그래서 저 만원경을 들고 있었나?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but
맞아,
didn't
수색 안
actually
했다고
search
하던데?
the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using
아,
the
그래?
microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
이건 현미경이 아니야.
Not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert.
왜냐면
on
아까
microscopes.
피피가 말해줬거든. 만원경이라고. 피피에 따르면 망원 렌즈라고 했어. 그러니 혹쇼가 거짓말을 한 거죠.
The microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined
맞죠?
to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
그럼
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
나 돈 많이 버는 사람.
A detective, naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
은하계
I
황제.
wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider
음.
universe. A fool's errand, to be sure. But
천문학자. 매력적이긴
I
해요.
decided instead to apply my intelligence to the
아,
world
그래서
and so
탐정이 된
became a
거야?
detective. But the yearning
어허.
for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way
그러니까
off
무슨
track.
상관이?
What's the deal with
너
the
왜
telescope?
꾼 거야?
A memento from my childhood.
아,
More than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it
아, 그래서 좋게 말한 건가? 팬이라서?
might sign my telescope.
못
An extremely
발견했죠.
childish indulgence, I admit.
발견
I
못했을
wouldn't
텐데.
have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct.
그치.
As it
사용 안
happens, I
했겠지.
had no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things
죽은
have
사람.
become complicated. My lead suspect is your murder victim.
그건 아까 들었죠? 근데 이 정도면 모든 단서는 다 했는데. 아, 근데 아까 얘부터 만나러 왔어야 됐네. 그러고 차근차근 약간 순서가 갔었겠는데? 잠시만. 야, 그럼 이제 어디 가야 되지? 소리가 단순한 음율이라 그랬거든요? 근데 카세트 테이프에서도 노래가 나왔으니까 카세트 테이프를 들어보러 가보자. 지금 뭐 오라고 한 데 없잖아? 들어보자. 이거를 이거 음악 있었잖아요, 그죠?
It's piano
피아노
music.
음악. 그쵸? 하나가 더 있어요. 여기까지 듣고 아까 갑자기 생기네. 그거 한번 보죠. 새소리야 이거. 이제 입혀졌나? 새소리 맞나?
It's someone humming a tune.
콧노래 나왔다. 오. 콧노래 나왔고.
The whole room is a strange.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
그러고 소리 날 만한 게 뭐 있지? 정문? 풍경. 아니야. 초인종. 아, 이게 힌트네.
Little bird.
How do you know they're for birds?
이거. 됐다. 소리가 또 있나? 소리가 있는 데가 또
Oh,
있었나요?
that means we
I'm
can
pretty sure that's the rule, yeah.
소리가 있는 곳. 피아노는 들었고. 소리. 또 없었는데? 호수 가장자리요?
It's full of the same weird.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is
It's
some.
a cassette tape.
풍경 말하는 건가?
Used to be.
풍경 소리 안 났잖아. 소리 안 나는 풍경 아니었어?
What?
Wind chimes, silent. Wooden wind chimes.
소리가 안 나는데.
The ground's moist. What are often the
I
rain?
cannot believe how exciting this works.
새소리? 헉! 아,
That's
미친,
all
내가
fine
다 알고
and
있는
nice.
거였네.
What?
Should we go back to the garden?
정원으로 가죠. 가서
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to.
저대로 맞추면 되는 건가? 맞았어요.
Looks
You're
like
some kind of harp expert, Sally.
Did you not know? I had
Oh,
a harp when I was
정말?
a kid. A little handheld one. Only 8 strings.
Liar.
It's the truth, I swear.
뭐라고 했는데요?
Looks like he's playing a semi-grand pedal
페달
harp.
Some kind of
하프라고.
harp
Did you
expert.
not know? I had a little handheld one.
Liar.
It's the truth, I swear.
페달 하프는 몇 억 하지 않나?
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
무슨 소리야 이거? 무슨 소리예요?
Are we done?
For now. It's about time we found out what's beneath.
정원 밑에 뭐가 있다고? 뭐야? 문이 열렸어.
Where do you think it goes?
Down.
지하실이 있었어요. 세상에. 지하. 내용. 자, 오늘은 여기까지 하도록 하겠습니다. 오늘은 여기까지 하고 내일 이어서 더 진행을 해보도록 할게요. 오늘은 지하까지만 하도록 하겠습니다. 내일은 과연 범인을 잡을 수 있을지. 과연. 오늘은 여기까지만 하고 저는 이만 가도록 하겠습니다. 오늘 방송 시청해주신 모든 분들 감사드리고 저랑은 다음 방송에서 봐요. 안녕.